welcome back to The Spell, where I'm still doing this series. Like, god dang it. Mom, that's alright, Lily. He thanked the kid in his head, then started walking away. Wait, you forgot some! I think it's your lunch! Oh shit. That's right, Steve had refused it earlier. She was still angry at him. She had every right to be. Keep it. Thanks! Hey Mom! It's lasagna! How much you like it? Oh, it'll go perfectly well with beef from yesterday. It just starts reading. Steve heard this, then stopped abruptly to think the love he poured. No, sorry, the time he poured on Lois's lunch would be wasted on this monstrous woman. You would have none of that. Oh god. I know he's trying. He turned around and said, sorry, but I think I'll keep it after. Thud. God damn it. She had closed the door on him. Guess it can't be helped. He's trying, bruh. After walking to the first car dealership he could find, he showed the picture of the old Taurus car he just got rid of. Got rid of it to the salesman, saying, I want the opposite. Black ain't cool. A black sports car. Or red. Both work. Does it have outlines? So he ended up with a black electric sports car. It had cost quite a lot of money. He was also he was about to use in order to pay for it. Wasn't exactly clean, but he understood Lois's feelings. It was embarrassing driving around in a dumpster, alright? Any kid, no, anyone would feel that way. Hey, some people have no choice, bro. He wanted her to feel comfortable. He wanted her to find him reliable. So he did what was necessary, even if it meant looking like he was in his midlife crisis. Well, it worked. He drove directly to Lois's school. Even though it was early, he was always early. But not to the extent that, at the very least, this would leave him with enough time to write a review about the last book he read. Well, it worked. That's what she meant when she said meaningful things, right? Well, he's trying. He's trying. Brought to you by more dots. School eventually ended. He noticed her right away. With her big, sad blue eyes and her large pink backpack. But she didn't notice him. It was only natural after all. He was no longer in that atrocious white dump. How you doing, Quick? He wanted to get out of the wave at her. She looked lonely and kind of lost, but his experience told him otherwise. It had happened one time in the past that Steve's father came to school in order to pick Steve's sister, Claire, up. He waited outside of his car, and he waved at her innocently when he saw her something that should have been trivial was actually very insensitive, at least for his sister's perspective. For kids that age, deception from parents, despite dependency, was very important. And that night, she let everyone in her family know how infuriating she was, how humiliated she felt. Isn't that normal? Steve still had goosebumps whenever he thought about his sister bursting out of anger. That depends. So, in order to not make the same mistake as her poor father, Steve simply kept looking at Lois until she realized on her own. She did 30 minutes later. This is entertaining. She entered the shyly asked him why he didn't come to see her, and then fell silent after having his answer. This was the time for an apology. He didn't like those times. He was no good at those times. What kind of face should he make? What about his tone? What would she believe him? Would she pardon him? God dang it, no! Knowing that we're on his side, seeing his story. God dang it, you're making me relive wholesome scenes! She was about to say something, but before she had the time to speak, before she had the time to take responsibility for his immaturity, his insensitivity, put his hand on her head. And then he apologized openly, truthfully, as an adult should. Well, I'm a legal adult and I don't know how shit works half the time, but yet I just go blindly forward. If shit doesn't work. In some cases, yes, it works. In other cases, think it through, kids. Think it through. She cried. He made her cry again. That was another reason he didn't like these times. He was the worst. He had no words for her. She had taken them away from him. The moment he saw tears in her eyes. God dang it. He was weak, despite what he tried to believe. The bittersweet atmosphere inside the vehicle changed the moment Steve noticed the police car in his mirror. They had parked behind him. Oh, this is gonna be entertaining. Why did they stop? Why did they want from them? Were they really policemen? Maybe Mark had some thorough seen through Steve's scheme and had tricked him down here. You at least plan a step ahead? Actually, that wouldn't work. If you've done this for years. It will get sloppy eventually. Steve had used the police trick once in order to kill a rival hitman by surprise. Sure, it was night at the time, and not in front of any elementary school, but all the more to be on his toes. Well then, he reached ever so delicately, I can't even say that word, the fuck, to the gun underneath his seat, while fixing his side mirror with great admiration. Alone's uneven breathing soon came to his ears. He tried to calm her down with words, but that was hopeless. In this kind of situation, she probably had a glimpse of the gun he had just pointed. At this point, yes. Fortunately, it was a false alarm. The school had called the cops because of how suspicious he looked. He was sent back with a simple warning. Again, his actions were too spontaneous and immature. Yeah, immature. If he continued on like this, he would have to face the consequences. Well, that's actually kind of true. Normally, though, he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared because he deserved it. But then Alone said something strange, yet obvious. But what if something happens to you? What will they do to me? Send me to an orphanage? I don't want that. Well, oh yeah, I did say that. I was gonna say a couple other things, but yeah, she said that. That's right. He had not thought about that. He was selfish, thinking his actions would only affect him. But that's no longer the case. Was that ever the case? I don't fucking know. Now you have to take care of a kid. He will have to be careful from now on. Yes. Oh god. House and static. What happened at the TV? What you doing? I'm here to see my niece. You're not here to stay straight. Well, thank you, Patrick, for saying such nice things. Patrick stepped outside, half closing the door behind him. I just want to see her. There's no need for talk or anything. He hears laughter coming from inside the house. Joey, it's the sound of my wife and my kid playing together. They are happy the moment you show them. Their sad little mug of yours, they wouldn't be happy anymore. Click, click. Patrick was playing with his lighter. Like always, it's irritating, Steve. It's my sister. And she doesn't want to see you anymore. I got you made first. I thought I would have to find a way to get rid of you. But you did it in your own. Thanks a lot, buddy. Mom, now we know. Don't call me that. What? Buddy? You seemed to like it before though. Well, times change. He did. Once, but that was before Patrick showed his true colors. When Steve was naive and weak. You know, I always hated you, right? Why, it's not Bustle. You've just always been that way. I hate you too. Well then, that's the spirit. Honey, who is it? Ah, fuck. Steve's sister was shouting from somewhere in the house. No one. Why you ask? He answered happily, then looked eyes with Steve. Right. No one. This is going to be entertaining. Steve planned to interject, but... Guy, look what I'm like! The little girl popped behind Patrick. Oh, the Messiah! Patrick turned towards her, entered the house, and closed the door behind him. Steve was glad he had his phone. In his hand, a picture of the little girl inside it. Perfect. No more violence. No more outstanding. No, outstanding outing during the night. He grabbed his. He grumbled to himself while walking down to the school corner. She had told him to do these things, and he knew she was right. He felt especially confident now that he was aware that his actions could have negative repercussions on her. That's why he was walking down the corridor, because this would be the last risk he would take after that. He doesn't find anything. He leaves this obscene alone. Well, at this point, I'm going to end the episode here to make it a little bit easier for later on in the series. But of course, I'm going to end the episode here. I hope all you guys have a great, wonderful time, and I hope to see all of you next time. I hope all of you guys have a great, wonderful time too. See you guys next time. Wait, wrong button. Dear God.